Hey everybody, what's up? Old guy on bass here. Today I'm going to do a rig rundown, show you guys the gear that I'm using on stage these days. And be sure at the end of the video to click subscribe, because I'm also going to do videos on each piece of gear and a complete review. So be sure to stay tuned. Alright, so everything is installed in this Anvil case. This case is about 30 years old. It's served me very well. We've been through a lot together. I have no complaints whatsoever. It's a tough case, really tough case. All right, so this is my stage rig. This is the gear I'm using, and at the very top I have a Furman power conditioner. Everything in the rig is plugged into the power conditioner. It protects the equipment from power surges, and it filters any AC line noise out, so I get as clean signal as possible through the rest of the gear. Kind of nice. We've got a couple of lights here for those dark stages. Meter tells you what the incoming voltage is. And there's also a green indicator over there that says, yeah, everything's running fine and it's safe to plug in. Next on the list is a Shure wireless system. This is the SLX4. Love this, love this. After so many years of tripping over cords on stage, because it gets tight up there sometimes when you got 5 or 6 guys playing. It's nice being free and able to roam around without having to worry about yanking cords out of the amp or tripping over cords. It comes with a body pack transmitter. I just clip this onto my strap and plug this into the bass, and we're good to go. Next on the rack is a strobe tuner. This is a Peterson strobo rack tuner. A little different tuning technique than your typical floor tuners that have digital readouts, or the older styles that have needles. There's a strobe display, and again, I'll cover this completely in the review, but I think it's a little more accurate than some of the other tuners are on the market. Does a pretty good job, and it's got this neat little customizable marquee feature too. Below that, I have an Alesis 3630 compressor. Not a whole lot to say about this. I don't use it too often, but when I do, it does a pretty decent job as well. If I want to bring up some of the softer notes and some of the louder stuff, you know, knock them down if I'm really wailing on the bass. It helps to even things out, so I don't pop a preamp. Which brings us to the next piece of gear. This is a SansAmp solid state preamp. It's the model RPM. Decent unit. It's got a great sound, mid sweep, bass treble and mid controls, an overdrive control, direct XLR out to a mixing board. A decent unit, all in all. The workhorse is an Ampeg SVT-Pro. This is 450 watts at 4 ohms, and I'll tell you what, this does a really good job. Most of the venues here in town are smaller, so I have no problem filling a hall with it. And for the couple bigger places that we do have, this more than adequately supplies enough sound, enough volume on stage for me to be able to hear myself without additional monitors. The preamp is tube, so it's got that classic warm Ampeg tube deep punch, which I like a lot. And the main stage of the amplifier is solid state. So when I'm running the SansAmp, it does bypass the preamp and the Ampeg. So depending upon the majority of the songs in a set that we're doing, if I want some of the classic old Ampeg sound on some classic rock tunes, I'll bypass the SansAmp and run through the Ampeg alone. If we're playing some newer stuff and I want some crunch or some drive to it, I'll run through the SansAmp and bypass the preamp and the Ampeg. And then finally in the rack, I have a gig drawer. This is kind of handy because I'm always fumbling for stuff on stage, and it's nice to have everything right at your fingertips rather than in a gig bag that you've dropped behind the amp someplace. I got things in here like gaffer's tape and a couple of pedals that I use, an overdrive pedal and a phaser, some cords, a couple extra batteries, and that pretty much does it for the rack. This weighs in at 103 pounds, so I get a good workout on gig night, having to lift it up on top of the cabinet and then back into the truck at the end of the night. Finally, this is all running through an Ampeg SVT-410 HLF cabinet. This has 4 10-inch drivers. Again, great punch, great deep tones, and when you've got some mid-range coming through, it really puts out. So all in all, great little rig, kind of heavy for an old guy like me, but you know, that's the way it goes. So thanks for watching, and click the subscribe button at the end of this video, and that way you'll get notified when I get the rest of the videos coming out. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.